Hello lovely ones, thanks so much for joining me and welcome to our first little demo of our Poppy Playtime series over on here on YouTube. Okay, so I made a few, actually, by the time it's gotten over here, I've done the painting now, and you can see there, I just made a couple of adjustments to the colours that I was using in it, because obviously these were the ones that I actually ended up using. So these are the colours that I chose. Obviously, we've all got different palettes, so, you dig into your palette and see what you can pull out that you like, combination together, and what feeling you want to create. All right then, so without further ado, let's get painting. So here we go, painting number 1 of 7. First up, what a beautiful reference photo, and many thanks to Roman Melnichuk, I think, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, for sharing such a lovely image. With regard to all of these photograph images that I'm using, if you pop on over to my Patreon page, you can sign up as a free member. You don't need to commit to any money or whatever, and I've put them all on there for you, and all the links are there. So pop on over there if you want any of these photos to have a go yourself, which I hope you will do. Okay, so obviously the very first thing I do before I get started, we've done our value study, so that's given us a good indication of where we're going. And what I want to do is remind myself of what is it that I loved. What do I want to convey? What feeling do I want to create? So, before you actually start painting, if you've had a little gap, just, try and get yourself in the zone, as to where you want to go, and then hopefully it'll turn out. Cross fingers. So as you can see anyway, my paper here size is 5 inches by 4 inches, and I had a piece of Lux Archival kicking around. As I mentioned earlier, if you either cut up a larger piece of paper into smaller, whatever your compositions you've decided, but I do suggest you don't go any larger than 6 inches. This kind of course is to start us off just playing with poppies, having some fun, choosing a few different scenes and then choosing one of those that we're going to take large. And it's about being, dexterous, getting those pastels to work in those little spaces and just seeing what we can achieve. So there's absolutely no pressure this week, pressure's off, and we're not wasting loads of pastels or loads of pieces of paper or whatever, just using scraps or, making the most of a large sheet of paper. So, okay, chatted on, I better catch up with myself on the video. The very first thing I did myself such a simple sketch, literally of where the horizon line was and where I wanted that main poppy head, the star of our show, and literally just a faint outline with a charcoal stick. You don't need to do that, it's up to you. You can just go straight on him with your pastels, obviously. Now on this one, I'm doing a wet underpainting, and I'm going to be doing it in a couple of stages. Now the first thing you saw me do was come in with a very pale pink and pop that up in the sky there. Now came in with the pale pink pastel, and then literally I just used water in this instance, or you can use alcohol if you want it to dry a little bit quicker, but I didn't need to worry about it drying because I was able to work on the lower part of the painting. So just got that little bit of pink in the sky, and set that in. The reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to treat this underpainting in a couple of stages. I really want those grasses to feel like grasses up in the sky, and and we're taking sort of our darkest value up into the sky. So I wanted to give the sky a little bit of colour underneath, so that when I come in with those grasses, I don't have to put too much pastel in and around the grasses, which obviously I can then end up with a mucky sky. And I love the colours in this sky, and I really wanted the sky to be nice and fresh and clean. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So as you can see, got that in, and I'm now just popping in a couple of these, where I know I want the seed, not the seed head, the buds, that haven't woken up yet. They're all still in bed having a droopy sleep. But just wanted to pop that in, and again I came in with a dark blue pastel, and again just use my water just to set that in. And the next thing I want to do is get that poppy head in the bases, and again I'm going to set this into the paper, but just getting the poppy in there. I've just chosen, one value of red at the moment, just a mid red to start me off. But I am paying a little bit of attention as I'm setting it in as to where that poppy is at its lightest. And not getting too much on there, because I want to make sure. One of the things I wanted to capture was this lovely translucency of this poppy. And once I've done that, I'm going to be popping in and getting some of these dark areas in. Going to be using a rich, deep dark blue, and I'm also going to add a little bit of violet in there. Then I'm going to be wetting all that down, and then we'll start getting pasteling. Okay, so I'll speed this little section of the video up and pop some music on, and I'll see you in a mo. So as you can see, got a little bit of colour going on there. Came in with my water and wet that all down. Always bearing in mind the gesture of where things are going to, they're going to go. I want to get the gesture of those grasses. They're lovely as they're just kind of wafting over the top of the poppy. Really enjoyed that. So keeping the gesture, using my paintbrush, it always in the direction and things that I want things to go. And so now time to get a little bit of pastel in. So coming in up into that sky first, as I did in the underpainting. I'm going to get that in pretty much so. And you're going to see me using a couple of values of this lovely pinky colour. I really love the sky colour. I love the colours in this photograph. The morning sort of pinky blue light that you get in the mornings. Really, really lovely. So basically, you're going to see me building up the sky with the pastels, starting off with the darkest where those little pinky clouds are, and then just sort of going backwards in between the values and just trying to get similar. I'm not fussed if it's not hugely, those clouds don't need to be in exactly the same place. Just want to give a feel. But I did like, again, the clouds sort of like carry on from the gesture of the grasses. So I enjoyed that. So I kind of want to keep those clouds where they are and make sure that I've got a bit of colour. But as you can see, I can now sort of go over those grasses, and I've still got like a little bit of the faint grasses going through. But I can take that pink over those grasses quite safely. Then when I come in and put the darker value on, which you'll see in a minute, then I don't have to, the pink is already in there and set in place. And also I've got a ghost image so that those grasses aren't going to feel all, precisely done. So get a little bit of feeling in there. All right then, so I'll let you watch me sort of get in the rest of the sky, and I'll start coming in with my dark value and basically re-establishing those dark areas, and then we'll build it up from there. All right then, I'll see you in a mo. So as you saw, got most of my sky in there, came in with my finger very, very gently, might richen that up, we'll just get a little bit more colour on and see how the balance is going. So the first thing you saw me do is coming down into those grasses with that blue that I used for my underpainting, same one. Basically what I'm doing, if you look at the reference photo, over to the left-hand side, everything's a little bit cooler in its colour temperature. The light is coming through to the right-hand side of the picture where things start to warm up a little bit. In general, I started off with the blue, then I've come in with a little bit of red. I don't want it to feel too cold, so I've come in with a little bit of deep dark red and got that in. But then after these initial layers, you'll see me using sort of more bluey colours towards the left-hand side and warming up as we come over to the right. Just adding, a few different layers and a few different colours. At this stage, I'd like to sort of like re-establish those our sleepy poppies there. Want to re-establish those, get those in, make sure I, don't lose those along the way. And then, I'm going to come through with those grasses and just add a few more colours. As I say, cooler to the left, a little bit warmer to the right. All right, then, I'll let you watch this and I'll see you in a mo. So as you can see, got most of my darks in there. Again, came in with my finger as well at that stage, just to kind of blend those together really. Again, always bearing in mind the gesture of, where I want things going. Again, came in, re-established, got a little bit of light on those sleepy poppies there. And, sort of now coming through to my mid-tones and, and the looking as well where that lovely patch of light is hitting those grasses, sort of like in the middle of them there. Sort of coming up the value scale, and as you can see, using these more pinky sort of corally colours, the colours that I picked out from my palette, because I just love the colours on this photograph, so right up my street. So I was quite happy playing with these colours. But obviously, your colours can change. You can make it more golden, or there's some lovely effects that you can create. So whatever colours that you're playing with. But like I say, bear in mind, watch your reference photo, squint your eyes, see make sure you haven't lost yourself as to where those areas of dark. You can go away from your reference photo at this point if you like, and obviously just you can use your value study. It really depends how closely you want to go to the reference photo as to how much information you want to take from there. So as you can see, coming through now and getting through these grasses, coming in just with a bit of pipe foam insulation, again to sort of mute them and tease them together. I'm not pressing hard when I'm doing that, but just just sort of like teasing them together. And then later on, were I to finish this painting, I know quite comfortably I can come in there with some sharper marks and pull out just a few of those grasses, but I've got those lovely blends of colour, soft transitions going on underneath. And for me, that was, part of the attraction. It's so soft, so gentle. It was a very tranquil painting to do. It, took me to a really beautiful, quiet place. So this one, some of the ones I'm going jolly and happy on, but this one took me, starting off gently, greeting the sunshine, and as I say, took me to a really lovely place. So I hope you're enjoying this little video, and obviously the first one I did. And you're going to come and have a look at the super speedies that I'm going to be posting for the rest of the week. Please remember, give me a thumbs up, or if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel over here, or come and join me on Patreon. You can come and join as a free member, and as I mentioned earlier, all the reference photos and things like that for this course you can have access to. But if you're interested in, if you're new to pastels, or you want to come and join in with me on this course, it's a great course, as I mentioned earlier. Great way to improve your pastel painting is if you can paint every day. Now you can either choose to paint every day, or you can split the course up, treat it however you fancy. But it's a great course for beginners because I go through everything slowly. We've got 7 little demos at around an hour over there, or all these 7 where I slow down and obviously sort of talk you through things a little bit more, and explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and things. And then obviously at the end of the week I take one of these paintings and I take it to a larger version, so there'll be a full length demo on that as well. So it's really good. It's a really great little course and a great fun course. I had a great time. So I do hope you'll consider joining me, as I say, either free member, or just join me over on Patreon as a monthly member, which, as I say, you can stop and start at any time. And so for €7 or for €25, you get a lot of bang for your buck. So hope to see you there. All right, so I've chatted on for a bit, so I'm going to pop some music on and let you watch me sort of build up these layers that little bit more. All right then, I'll see you in a mo. So as you can see, basically just literally going backwards and forwards, building up the colour and trying to sort of keep it balanced as I go, and now, for example, getting a little bit of that lovely, I've chosen a nice sort of greyed out blue there to bring down into those grasses. I'm going to start, I'm going to go part way with the grasses on this little painting, but I don't come in and do all the finishing touches and whatever. But, I want to give myself an idea. And again, so, bearing in mind where that light is hitting it. And obviously bearing in mind, I've elongated this. So kind of imagining how far those, the light would come through into those grasses and things like that. So as I say, just sort of building up, put a little bit of colour in my poppy, looking at my reference photo, looking at that poppy, looking at the shapes of it, looking where it's at its darkest, as I'm coming into the poppy, as I come into the poppy, these times round, I am looking at those levels of light and dark, looking at those shapes that, the darkest shape, that sort of L shape at the bottom of the poppy. This is a very traditional kind of, very, very recognised shape of a poppy where it's not sort of like quite at full bloom, but you've got this kind of, these L shape and as it's growing out. So, you've got that dark in that corner and then you've got it, where you've got the petals overlapping each other. You've got those shapes of sort of mid-value there. And then obviously you've got that lovely translucent bit. So as I say, when I build up the poppy, that's what I'm doing with that. So, I've kind of got, it's at this stage that I'm kind of coming back round for another round. Now, obviously, if I'd set myself a timer of half an hour or whatever, or wanted to do the painting quicker, I could have left it there if I'm just going to use it as a colour study, if I take it larger. But for me, I wanted to get a little bit more of the colours going on, because that's exactly it. I want to know that if I come to do this larger, that I have got, any little problems, ironed out, and I've got my colours sorted. So if I come to paint it big, I can go in there quite confident with my colours and, quite confident as to where I'm going. So you're going to see me now sort of building up some more. I'm going to, now I've got a bit more colour in the sky and things. I'll be coming in and getting some more of those grasses that are kind of coming out. Again, I'm going to get the kind of gesture of them today and the feeling of them going on and work out, how I can build them up. It's kind of like a working out session and, see where we're going and, just see how far. You take it as far as you want to take it. You can stop, as I say, if you've had enough of it or whatever, or you can take it to a finished painting if you like to. Some of these small paintings, they make great little gems. Painting doesn't have to be large to to have an impact. So it's a great little gift if you know someone that likes poppies. Pop it in a little frame, and it's a lovely little present you could give someone. Okay, so anyway, I'll let you watch me sort of build up these last layers as far as I take it, and I'll pop the music back on, and I'll see you in a mo. So I think I'm pretty much there as far as I want to take it. I just wanted to get a few more. I wanted to pop a little bit of colour in, see if I could get those dewdrops. If I can get them small, then I know that I can definitely get them big. So wanted to add a little bit of sparkle in that area. As I say, don't carry on and sort of finish all the grasses. I feel that, I'm confident that I'll be able to build those up. Doesn't need a lot more. And again, with the poppy, I'm leaving it at there for this stage. But overall, an hour of my time, I loved it. I was, as I say, in my happy place with the colours and things. Obviously, there's work to do on it. I could either choose to, as I say, complete this one, or it might be a contender for my larger painting. I must admit, I do rather love it. So hope you've enjoyed this video. As I say, if you do, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, or come and join us on Patreon. But don't forget to check in here to YouTube tomorrow, and you can see a quick sort of super speedy of the one we've got going on tomorrow, Morning Dance. Again, love the vibrant colours on this one. So a totally different palette on this one, and a totally different feel of the painting. So hope you'll come back and have a quick look, and have a lovely day. And I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you get a chance to do some painting, and if you do, happy painting.